Hello people, how's everyone doing? Yep, well, I'm back again. And I thought what I'm going to talk about now, yes, I'm currently in my bedroom. I'm recording this on my phone, simply because I've been wanting to do this video, but I just thought I can do it now in here, because I am in the middle of doing various other things, so rather than, spending time setting up the computer and all that, I can just do this here. There's going to be no editing. I often don't do a lot of editings, anyway, sorry, so, yep, so that's, so I can just do this video just like this. And what I'm going to be quickly talking about is that I have finished watching the 10 episodes of Power Rangers Cosmic Fury on Netflix. It didn't take long to get through because, as I say, it was only 10 episodes. I watched them, I think, in the course of about 3 days, 3 different nights. I could easily have probably sat and binge watched them, but I didn't start watching them till quite late because I have been in the middle of doing other things. So, Cosmic Fury. Well, as we know, that's likely now to be the end of Power Rangers kind of as we know it, as the continuous franchise it's been over 30 years. Well, I will say, on the whole, I quite enjoyed it. My biggest issue I think I've had with it is just that they've tried to cram a bit too much into just 10 episodes. Because it's the shortest season of Power Rangers. I like, the continuing storyline from Dino Fury was handled very well because I was very interested to see at the end, obviously with Zato sacrificing himself and then the Morphing Masters bringing him back, and, hearing that Lord Zed had escaped from the Morphing Masters and that, escaped from the prison that the Rangers put him in and was under the guardianship of the Morphing Masters, and he escaped. And it was great to see Lord Zed back as the primary villain. It wasn't, I know that unfortunately the late great Robert Axelrod passed away some time ago, and it's not quite the same without his iconic voice, but yeah, I think just to see him again, he looked very accurate in appearance, so that they've really done him justice there. He still looks like his old menacing self. I always thought, Lord Zed was genuinely quite frightening when I was a kid, because he had, you could see through his armor, you could see his brain, you could see the tubes that carried fluid through his body. So to get to see him as the main villain again, well, I mean, that's real fan service. And of course, they had Billy back as a proper full character for the season. I like how his storyline continued from sort of where they left off in Once and Always, the 30th anniversary edition. He's because he mentioned he's been traveling in space because he planned to continue his mission to find ways to bring Zordon back, and yet there's more references to that, which I'll get onto towards the end of the video. I find that they've really set this up to appeal. I think they've certainly done a lot more to appeal to the older fans. Making having references to Once and Always, having more references to the original series. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. I have pretty much grown up with that since I was about 4 or 5, back in 94, 95, when it was on GMTV Saturday here in the UK. But it handles things ever so. It really has a lot of good fan service. In some cases it is rather rushed, but it's good nonetheless. As you can see, probably noticed there behind me, I have an old a poster of Saban's Masked Rider. I know that's not exactly related to what I'm talking about, but Saban's Masked Rider was one of the side shows that Saban created. There was Masked Rider was introduced in Power Rangers. Wasn't a particularly, those series didn't tend to do quite so well. I think Masked Rider wasn't particularly liked by people. I think because at the time most of the references that were going to be to Power Rangers were removed and had it more be its own show, but nonetheless. Okay, going back to the main topic of the video. You're seeing Billy back and him actually assisting the new team. It was kind of odd because he did like his old traditional morph, though they had the updated version that they used him once and always. But seeing him sort of pilot Zords and in frame, you saw him in still frames with the other 5 Rangers. It was kind of odd seeing the new Cosmic Fury suits, and then you see like an original Mighty Morphin suit. An original Mighty Morphin suit in a still frame with them in a new Zord cockpit. Yeah, obviously what most of us probably know, what most serious fans of the show know, is that this series they don't adapt. It's not adapted from any Sentai. It's completely original, which I actually thought that's something I've been waiting for. I mean, I don't mind the fact that what Power Rangers is, has been an adaptation from a show from Japan, and I've even grown to like the Super Sentai stuff. I like some of the Sentai series, like Zyuranger, Zyuranger, Die Ranger, O-Ranger. I think that's the last one I got round to watching. I haven't seen a lot of Sentai, but but to see a completely original series made up of entirely original footage, that is absolutely fantastic. All the settings in space, like they have the big space battle with lots of old Megazords, because other than Billy, unfortunately, you don't see any other Past Rangers, even though it's implied in the final battle that there are other Ranger teams obviously piloting the Megazords, and you see the very similar special effects to kind of the Once and Always space battle. Also, yeah, another thing that was good was that Harvey, the Blue Ranger, the Blue Dino Fury Ranger, the other Rangers lost their Dino Fury powers because Lord Zed destroyed these statues that connected them to the morphing grid. And but except for Harvey, he was turned evil and he served Zed. I like the fact that also it dealt with the prospect of Ollie actually losing his arm and having to be given a prosthetic arm, and Billy explaining to him that the chances that he probably won't be able to get his real arm back again, which is, I like the fact that Power Rangers is now handling these kind of issues, because these are things in real life, like it's addressing the issues of disability. And it's doing it very positively. It's doing it in a toned down sort of way, in maybe in a bit of a fantasized science fiction type sort of way with this storyline. But the good that it is addressing these issues is actually a very good thing. Because I think people can relate to it, and we've had the first openly gay Ranger with Izzy. We've had the first openly gay character, and also now her partner Fern, she ends up stowing away with them into their mission in space to go to the planet Eltar, which Lord Zed is set up his new headquarters and is devising his master plan from Eltar, which was the home of Zordon, which I thought was good. Another reference, and of course there's a big personal connection there for Lord Zed. And of course, Fern becomes the first official Orange Ranger. I've always wanted there to be an Orange Ranger. I even had a sort of a fan-made sort of Orange Ranger suit that my grandmother made me when I was a kid. And, So the idea that that is officially the first Orange Ranger. I know that in SPD there was like a dream sequence where Boom appeared as like an Orange Ranger, but no, and he pretended to be the Orange Ranger, but hey, no, that doesn't count. But I'm glad to finally see an Orange Ranger. I like the fact that it dealt with kind of the storyline with Zato, is that because he'd been officially sort of destroyed when he sacrificed himself, the Morphing Masters brought him back, but explained that he had a very temporary lifespan, like he could only survive in physical form till the end of the mission, and then he can go on to become a permanent Morphing Master. And the idea of Zed, you know, Lord Zed trapping the Morphing Master's energy so he can transform himself into an ultimate evil Morphing Master, I thought was really good. It's where it got really dramatic. Obviously, we know in the end that the Rangers are going to win. We know that the Rangers are going to win, but it just makes you wonder how things are going to go. But as I say, other references across the season. Obviously, they've had Skrozzle, who was one of the long-term villains from Beast Morphers, who and then came back in Dino Fury, then Cosmic Fury. I like that they've addressed that. I like also that Heckle from Dino Charge, who was like Heckle and Snide, as in the Jekyll and Hyde sort of character, who was good, then had the evil, but then was also possessed by the evil alien character. They brought Heckle back. Mick, they brought Mick from Ninja Steel and Super Ninja Steel. He's appeared several times in the show since the seasons. Like he appeared in Ninja Steel. He appeared in Beast Morphers. He's been in Dino Fury, and now he's back for this one because of course, we knew he could travel in space. So yes, it's great. It's good just to see all the references. Of course, yeah, the big highlight, I think, for me, what I was really excited, other than Lord Zed, just to see Billy, to see David Yost again, back as a mainstay of the series, as a main character again. Because what I think my favourite thing, certainly about Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Once and Always, was that Walter Jones and David Yost are the two characters we hadn't seen return yet, since they left the show. And of course, yeah, I really felt bad for David Yost when he did the interview in 2010 for No Pink Spandex, when he revealed the reason why he left the show was due to being harassed behind the scenes due to his sexuality, which I thought was I just felt really bad, that went on. And obviously it's totally unacceptable that happens. I mean, obviously now that's we're generally accepting of people's sexuality and race, and the whole equality and diversity thing, which back in '96 was when Zeo was, there wasn't quite the understanding and acceptance of that there is now. But so that was still completely unacceptable, for making someone feel like that, and hearing what he went through afterwards, following on from when he left the show. But anyway, so yeah, it's just great to see him back again, and it's great to see what Billy sort of became, leading on from Once and Always to this. That he grew up and now he has his own science division. Okay, so yeah, the final sort of thing I want to hit on is, I think, yeah, when Ollie, sorry, it's when Ivan tries to stop Zato from basically fading away. He goes into like into like his subconscious world. He basically falls unconscious, and he comes across Zato in sort of spiritual form after Zato's after his lifespan's run out. But this guy reveals he's not Zato, and that he basically has the appearance of Zato, and explains a way for, I think, for Avon to return, basically to go back to reality to help fight the final battle. And he says this line that goes, "Oh, I used to say things in times like this, may the power protect you." And when I heard that, obviously I was thinking, just before he said it, because like this character had, like, you could see like these big, these big highlighted blue eyes, and I thought this might be giving us a clue when he said, and Billy had referenced what Zordon used to say. In the season, he used to say, as my mentor Zordon would say, may the power protect you. Yes, that's what this sort of person in Zato disguise says. So, oh yeah, I wonder who it could be. It's the spirit of Zordon. It's revealed that that's probably the spirit of Zordon, and that's all we see of it. There's a little spoiler there. I was a little disappointed that I knew that by this point they had less than 10 minutes of the episode left. So no, I didn't think they'd go as far as to let us see Zordon in his original form. It probably got to go a bit further before that. But now that we think that Power Rangers, as this continuous franchise is over, and there's plans for Netflix to do a reboot for the show. So we'll see where that goes. I say Cosmic Fury. I don't think it's like a breathtaking finale. But then again, for what it was, it's all right. It had some pretty good parts. It's got some pretty good things. The references, the returning characters, to all across the series, because I like the fact how it referenced what Zed planned to do with the Morphing Master's energy was to create basically an anti-Z wave, which was at the end of Power Rangers in Space when Zordon sacrificed himself. His energy released became a Z wave that spread across the universe and destroyed the United Alliance of Evil. Obviously not all evil, because all the seasons that followed in space, where those evil forces come from. But anyway, so that he was going to release an anti sort of Z wave that would destroy all good in the universe. That was his plan. And of course, the way I think. And it was funny to see Rita Repulsa again, where Lord Zed's back on sort of the dream planet that sort of traps them in an illusion of being in their worst nightmare, and his worst nightmare is having to spend eternity with his wife Rita Repulsa. Now I must say, when you see Rita, you don't see this version of Rita for long, but hell, now this version of Rita that you see is so corny, just so corny, and thank God, honestly, she didn't have much to say. So hopefully, Lord Zed once again might become a force for good. That's why I think Ollie decided to. I think that's why Zato, as the Morphing Master, decided to put him there. And then so it ends with Zed trapped in his eternal nightmare of having to spend time with Rita, spend eternity with Rita, and then the concert scene at the end with Ollie with his new prosthetic arm. He's got used to it, and he's playing a gig with his guitar, and Billy's there, and that's when I think Avon reveals that he thinks he saw the being in the spirit world was the spirit of Zordon, and that's when Billy once again references maybe Zordon's out there somewhere, and then that's the end. So, yep. So well. That's overall, I think, of Cosmic Fury. I don't think it's anything to be too excited about, but again, it has very good points and it has bad points. So if this really is going to be the end of Power Rangers as we know it, it's okay. And I'm just going to look forward to what the future holds for the franchise, in terms of reboots, where the franchise goes from here. I'm just really looking forward to it, and I'll always, have, all the 30 years that I've grown up with to go back on. I can always go back and watch any season, any episodes, or the movies, or comics. I can go and revisit them anytime I like. Okay, well, that's it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. See you soon. Bye.